We've been asked to find critical points for this function f of x. Well, critical points occur whenever f prime of x equals 0 or wherever f prime of x is undefined. Notice that f of x is polynomial, which means it is smooth and continuous everywhere, which means that everywhere its derivative is going to be defined. So we won't have any points in this case where f prime of x is undefined. So all I have to do is worry about setting f prime of x equal to 0 and solving. So my first job obviously is to find f prime of x. It's going to require the product rule. So that's first times derivative of the second plus second times the derivative of the first. And both of those derivatives required the use of the chain rule. So I had the exponent come down to the front, and then I'd had my parenthetical expression raised to the one less exponent. So my goal here is to set this derivative equal to 0 and solve. Obviously this is polynomial. I could multiply it all out. The fastest way to solve a polynomial equation is to factor. Once I factor, if I have one side equal to 0 and I can factor, then I'm going to set each factor equal to 0, and I'm going to get however many solutions I get. So that's the tricky part on this problem, is knowing how to factor this expression. So for me, this first factor, this first term has 5 factors of x plus 2, 3 factors of x minus 3, and a factor of 4. This guy has 4 factors of x minus 3, 4 factors of x plus 2, and a factor of 5. So what I'm looking for is what factors do both of those terms, the two parts that come before and after the plus sign, what do they have in common? Let's see. So I can factor x minus 3 to the third power. I could do one more x here. I can factor x minus 3 to the third power out of both halves of my expression, and I can factor x plus 2 to the fourth power out of both halves of my expression, and then what's left over? Well, in the first half I had x plus 2 to the fifth times 4 times x minus 3 cubed. The x minus 3 cubed I brought out to the front. X plus 2 4 times I brought out to the front, so I have a leftover x plus 2 and this factor of 4. And that's how I get this 4x plus 2 inside the parentheses. Plus, I'm going to add in here the leftover after I factor.